Welcome to Thieves' Cant, a tabletop gaming podcast with your hosts, Jeremy Shane and Chris White.
Welcome in, welcome back. It is Monday, February 2nd. Thieves' Cant. I'm Jeremy Shane.
And I'm Chris White.
Hope you're doing all right. Long time no see.
It has been, it seems like a really long time.
Well, been a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Thanks for bearing with us. We put out the update last week due to the weather, and I had a little illness going on. I want to give Chris a pass here. In no way was last week's lack of shows the responsibility of Chris.
And normally I wouldn't have allowed that. But with the snow and everything, you know, I thought a late Christmas present. Have a couple days off.
Yeah. All right, so we're feeling better. We're back in the studio, and we've got a full week of shows ahead. Today, of course, it's all about a new crowdfunding spotlight. We've got some listener feedback to share, and, of course, the latest round of news, which is playing a little catch-up as well. So let's hit the headlines. Chris, I want to start with the announcement from MCDM. CROWS, the new RPG, is in development, and they've put up a splash page there on BackerKit. The countdown is on 180 days till they begin funding this new RPG.
Okay.
So
got a little time to think about it.
Right. So MCDM, of course, still riding the success of Draw Steel. They've got a couple of $1 million plus crowdfunders for that RPG. But they said, you know what? We want to expand the portfolio. We want to diversify.
Sure.
We don't just want to rest on our laurels. So, CROWS, they put out a free post on the MCDM Patreon. James Introcaso did, all about what this new RPG is and what it's not. So the premise here for CROWS is a survival horror dungeon crawling RPG, not a heroic fantasy like Draw Steel. So characters are scraping a living by entering deadly ruins, extracting treasure, and escaping, hopefully, with their lives.
Okay, so a different vibe.
Different vibe, for sure. Not as shiny.
Yeah.
Right? Not as power focused. This is more loot focused.
That's kind of an old school idea, right? I mean, that was, you know, with a lot of the older games, the focus was on treasure, and not so much power fantasy experience.
Exactly. And so I think those are the roots that this is seeking to kind of get back into. As far as any overlap with Draw Steel, it does share the power roll mechanic. So that 2d10 roll plus your characteristic plus a relevant skill if you've got it, with one of three results as the outcome.
Okay.
That 11 or lower, 12 to 16, or a 17 or higher. They are adding, in addition to maintaining that nat 19 or 20 for a critical, they are adding a doom mechanic. If you roll a natural 2 or 3, some extra bad stuff is going to happen.
Okay.
So that's as much as it seems to share with Draw Steel on the surface, is the core dice mechanic. Equipment and character capability seem to be kind of the primary driver here. If a character has a spell book, they can cast the spells in it. The character's attributes and skills influence how effective those spells are. Options and powers come from what you carry, not from any innate ability. So gear enables abilities rather than gear enhancing class features.
Mm-hmm.
As far as advancement, experience is earned from treasure value. So when characters return from a dungeon, the total value of that treasure is converted to XP. So extracting loot and escaping, that's where you're getting your bump, not from just killing monsters. Inventory is slot-based, not weight-based. We've seen this in several RPGs. The first time I saw this was, I think, Forbidden Lands, which I'm certain was not the first RPG to utilize it either. But basically, if you've got this many slots on your character sheet, that's how much you can carry. Mm-hmm. A big item might take up more than one slot. I find it interesting that inventory also has an impact on your health and damage. kind of comes in 3 tiers of protection. So characters have armor durability. So your armor takes up backpack slots and has a durability. So damage will first reduce that durability. When it hits 0, your armor is useless until it's repaired. You've also got stamina. Once your armor durability is gone, that damage applies directly to stamina.
So if I'm not wearing armor, we're starting out in stamina.
There you go.
Okay.
And then from there are wounds. When both armor durability and stamina are 0 and you take damage, you take wounds equal to the damage. Each wound fills a backpack slot. So you can imagine the situation where you are forced to make a choice. What are you going to drop? You literally cannot carry this. You're hurt. You have to forego some piece of equipment.
Wow. That's interesting.
It's an interesting take.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not sure which other systems they're drawing inspiration from here. I've seen some people say that the RPG Knave handles damage in similar ways. Mm-hmm. It applies to your inventory, so there might be some of that there. I don't have experience with Knave. As far as the survival and horror elements, the dungeon time goes, dungeons are designed, James says, to be unforgiving. Monsters and dangers don't scale to the characters. If you poke something dangerous, you'll probably pay for it. Initiative is volatile. Foes may get consecutive turns. So, the tables can turn against the heroes in a hurry. Dungeon play is broken into dungeon turns of 30 minutes real time. So this is kind of that, maybe similar to Shadow Dark with the torch being a literal real time 1 hour.
Yep.
Right. So that dungeon turn kind of adds some time pressure, a constant source of resource attrition as well. And then some final design notes that are worth mentioning. CROWS is explicitly intended to be swingy, gritty, deadly. Monsters are designed to be original and unpredictable. James details the fact that they are coming up, they've got somebody working on coming up with just brand new monsters, things that your players have not encountered before and that will feel strange and dangerous. The focus appears to be on risk, preparation, tactical decision-making, as you enter the dungeon, rather than we're just looking for a fight. We're looking for a way to get this loot out.
Right.
What's the best approach there?
Different focus.
It's got an interesting gameplay loop set up. We're going to get the loot, take it back to town where I think you can kind of set up a base. There will be mechanics to get kind of a home base set up. Mm-hmm. The more loot that you bring back to the town, the more merchants the town will attract and other, so you will see the environment change thanks to the efforts of the characters. I guess maybe building this town out. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I'm going to be honest. Like, this is exactly the kind of thing that's been interesting me lately. That's caught my eye. This style of gameplay. And the ideas behind it.
What is it about this that you like, that appeals to you?
Well, I think the grittier focus. I like the fact that there is some link to draw steel, which I think is a fun system.
Just the familiar mechanic there.
So, that's familiar. Yeah. And I think it's a good system. I like I want to see him play this idea of going from the armor durability to the stamina to the wounds and how that impacts play.
Those 3 layers, right?
And maybe get some more details about that initiative system they were talking about. But yeah, just in general, I think resource play is really, a lot of people are focused on that right now. I think that's a big part of this. In fact, later on in the week, I'm going to talk about that a little bit, I think.
That sounds good. So, we'll keep an eye on CROWS for sure. Again, we've got a link to that free Patreon post in the show notes if you want to read it in a little more detail. I'm sure that we've left some things out and probably misinterpreted at least a couple bullet points here. But that's what we know here at the start. And again, about 180 days, it's going to start funding on backer kits. So I see no reason to doubt the funding potential of this. So I think it's going to be another smash.
Yeah.
The question, it feels a little OSR. It's entering kind of a very crowded space right now. But MCDM has the following. They've got the reputation. They pulled it off with Draw Steel. I fully expect this thing to smash.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, I don't have enough experience with the OSR stuff. I'd like to get some more, but I don't have enough experience to compare it to products that are already out there. But at least on face value, this looks really interesting.
Yeah. Plus, I love the name.
CROWS.
That's cool. You know, you're scavenging, you're picking things over.
Yeah, picking the bones.
Thematically.
Getting what you can.
Yeah, it works. All right. So that's the latest from MCDM and CROWS. Moving on, this news is a couple weeks old now, but we want to talk about it. D&D Beyond has announced its partnered content release schedule here for the first quarter of 2026. A few third-party items coming to the platform. At the tail end of January, we saw Exploring Eberron from Visionary Production and Design. This is, of course, Keith Baker's original setting. It dives a little deeper into the world's history and cultures, religions, philosophies. It's an updated release, bringing some of that prior lore to the D&D Beyond platform. More than 40 new character options, new species, feats, subclasses, all that jazz. I've always been on the outside looking in at Eberron, like one of these days I'll dive in.
I don't think we ever played.
I never
in
have.
Eberron. I don't think we ever utilized. I mean, I've certainly taken elements. I really like the Warforged.
Yeah,
their shifters, the way they handle those things. But
right.
I don't know a lot of the details.
So more Eberron on D&D Beyond. We've got the Pugilist class from Benjamin Huffman, which is coming in early February. This is a class that's been on DM's Guild, but now is just finally coming to D&D Beyond. It offers a new take on melee combat, subclasses that lean into brawlers and boxers. If you've got the finesse of the monk, this is a little more rough and tumble, I suppose.
I started to say, it feels like it's kind of stepping on the monk's toes to me. But
right. Couldn't this be a monk subclass?
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know. Let's see how different it is.
Yeah, I need to see the Pugilist class in its full form. That's going to be there. Coming as well, we've got Faster Purple Worm, Everybody Dies, Volume 1. This is a collection of one-shots from Beetle and Grimm's. Everything you need for a single session in which everybody is pretty much guaranteed to die. So it's a specific sort of game.
Yeah. Just one shot, have fun. We all die. We laugh about it.
Right. Coming in early March from Loot Tavern, it's Heliana's Guide to Monster Hunting Part 2. Part 1 is already there, I suppose. So this is the anticipated second half. D&D Beyond says that this release is adapted to support the kind of monster hunting gameplay fans of the series love, while using D&D Beyond's time-saving features to their utmost. And then finally, late March, and this will wrap up the first quarter, The Griffin's Saddlebag, Book 1. After launching Book 2 on D&D Beyond last year, they say we're excited to bring Book 1 to the platform as well. It rounds out the collection with more beautifully illustrated magic items ready to drop directly into your game. So that one's all about loot itself, I suppose.
Okay, there you go.
All right, so if you're looking for partnered content on D&D Beyond, some of that third-party stuff, those are the early offerings in 2026. Me, of course, being all analog.
Yeah, you don't need that, do you?
I won't be partaking. Well, those are the headlines. We're going to move on. We've got a quick crowdfunder to take a look at. How about this one? D20 Soap.
Okay.
This is D20 Soap from Mr. Bubbles. Oversized D20-shaped soap, and inside, a mystery dice set. A full 7-die set. You just got to scrub and scrub and scrub until finally you get your dice.
I have to admit, I can't imagine just rolling a D20 all over me.
Right?
How well does this thing lather up? I got a lot of logistical questions. And then my flipping D4 goes down the drain accidentally. And,
yeah.
I wonder what it smells like.
That I can't tell you, but I can tell you that it comes in Warlock Blue.
Oh, okay.
Druid Green, or Wizard Purple.
Oh, okay. All right.
You've got your color options. I think you can get a discount if you order multiples.
Okay.
You get one for everybody in the gaming group, especially that smelly guy.
Yeah.
There's always a smelly guy. I hope it's not.
We finally found a way.
I hope it's not you.
Yeah.
Don't be the smelly guy.
Well, I think that's great.
I think it's kind of cool, something different. It's funding for another couple of weeks. We've got a link in the show notes again. D20 Soap from Mr. Bubbles. Shower up.
I'm trying to think of what another product they could possibly lean into for this, like a deodorant dice tower, or,
right?
Just
a heads up. Next, since we're talking about crowdfunding, I'm excited because later this week, the Deadlands Anniversary campaign hits Kickstarter. So we're going to spotlight that next week.
Okay.
Because I love some Deadlands. So, but I just wanted to give you an early heads up. It's going to happen very soon if you want to track that down.
All right.
One more stop today. We've got some listener feedback. We'll start things off with Grom Molitok. He weighs in on a couple comments we made when we were talking about ribbon bookmarks in role-playing books, followed by a spotlight of star beards for Savage Worlds on backer kit. Grom says, funny you should mention ribbon bookmarks and then a Savage Worlds crowdfund, since star beards will be PDF with a print-on-demand option. At least in the initial round, it won't have a ribbon. But increasingly, both Pinnacle and third-party Savage Worlds publishers are adding them, especially in hardcovers. Hand Cluster, in particular, took pains to match the 3 ribbons in each of the 2 books to the setting. 6 shades of ribbon running from blue to yellow, and each has thematic importance. It's been a while since I purchased new Savage Worlds. In fact, I just mentioned the Deadlands Kickstarter that's coming soon. That might be a new purchase, but the last Savage Worlds products that I have use the Deluxe Edition.
Mm-hmm.
We have experience with the Explorers Edition and the Deluxe Edition. So long time.
Yeah.
But it's cool to hear that, more RPG products have these cool little editions, ribbon bookmarks. They never hurt.
Well, no, usually I have my finger in 2 or 3 different pages trying to hold them while I'm reading another one.
Right,
so.
tabbing pages, build in some utility there. So, Grom, thanks for the heads up. Chris, I'm going to let you take the next one because it's from Jessica, and she takes issue with your retooling of your talent from Draw Steel. We took that pre-generated talent for Draw Steel into the Forge of Creation, and you made some tweaks.
Yes. So Jessica Van Voorhees takes issue. I take issue with you taking issue. It says, no, Flashback is the GOAT. Love hearing you guys go through some of the other options. You don't have to be locked in. I would have loved to hear more on how you're playing with the strained mechanic, though. Many people say that is where the true power of the talent is unlocked. Yeah, I don't really use the strained much. I'm like the laziest gamer ever sometimes. Right. So I'm like, that's strained. That looks like kind of a pain. So I don't doubt that it is more useful as you go on. It doesn't seem particularly useful to me at first level, which is where we've been hovering. But I definitely am keeping an eye on it. But no, I'm not really using it at all. So in that sense, I'm just misusing all my powers. So perhaps that's my problem. Right. Flashback is great. I can see how it's great. It just, in every scenario we've been in, I haven't really been able to utilize it. Again, that is kind of why I'm loose, and I like the idea of retooling those powers periodically because, in certain situations, some of them are definitely more powerful than others. But I'm not going to argue with you. I think Flashback is the GOAT.
Yeah,
so.
And Wes Lawrence adds on the same note that Flashback is fantastic, but it definitely depends on your party composition. If you can let a troubadour do dramatic reversal or a tactician do now, the action economy change is insane.
Yeah. No, I don't doubt it. And it obviously is dependent on your party makeup. I don't doubt that at all. So I am kind of getting the vibe that the talent is sort of they can really make their fellow party members shine with abilities like this. So I don't know. I'll have to re-examine. I personally, I like to be a selfish player and, excel personally and push others down at every given opportunity. I'm just kidding. But it's a work in progress.
Yeah. Jessica and Wes, thanks for the feedback there. I like, this is the sort of feedback that we love to get. Because, our experience with a given game is just that. It's our experience. So,
it's limited. Yeah.
Yeah. So to get those outside perspectives from people who more than likely have more experience, it's always good.
You all might change my mind. I might have to do a flashback on flashback. I don't know.
And speaking of perspective from people with more experience, we get that as well in a rules observation about our Draw Steel commentary from AODHFYN2429.
Aodfin. Aodfin?
Says, you might have been running minions wrong in Draw Steel. I'm fairly confident their hits from an action combine into one big hit. And that was after our initial first time that we played Draw Steel. I did some rules review and just because, I know I've missed some things. And that was one of the notes that I made myself early was, I was doing minions like 4E style, not Draw Steel style.
Right.
Grail Case on YouTube further clarifies that point if you want to handle that one.
Yeah, it says if multiple minions are targeting one hero, then yes, it's one instance of the roll damage plus the free strike value of any additional minions, up to 3. So it's better to spread damage around, and it also means heroes are more likely to spend recoveries evenly throughout several encounters. Yeah, that's good. Again, that's the feedback we love. We're learning, and we don't have all the answers, so we certainly appreciate you all helping us out a little.
Yeah, if you've listened for any extent of time, you know that we have very few answers.
Right. Our wives know this, and now you're learning it too, so we appreciate it.
And we appreciate you listening today and joining us tomorrow again, whenever we're back for an Unearthed Obscura episode. A little Tuesday action. We're going to get weird. We're going to plumb the depths of some real-world strangeness for some tabletop RPG inspiration.
All right.
So that is coming up tomorrow, and of course, we'll be here with you all week. Remember to like and subscribe, give that 5-star review, and email thievescantcast@gmail.com. So we'll catch you again next time. I'm Jeremy Shane.
And I'm Chris White.
It's been Thieves Cant. So long.
Thank you for listening to Thieves Cant. Email thievescantcast@gmail.com.